Nicholas Romero 3876 says, just got the acceptance email. Actually, so what's the best way to get started? Great question. That's why it's on today's episode of Relay Q&A. All right, Nicholas, I am coming to you from a rare rainy night here in San Diego County, out here under the lights of the Texas Roadhouse Grill outside of the Parkway Plaza Mall. I'm hoping I can kind of hang out here long enough before the security officer asks me to come and leave. Probably suspect I'm going to sleep here tonight, which isn't the case. I'm in between loads. I just wanted to answer your question. The first thing that you want to do as far as getting started with Relay, you've got the green light. They've told you you're good to work. Let me go ahead and turn this screen record on. The very first thing is, even though you've got that email, you want to be sure that you are good. And by good, depending on what state you're in, that's going to be either 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 things. First thing is, so you have to be sure that you have a driver that's eligible. So you're going to go over here, hamburger menu. You're going to go to managing resources, and under managing resources, under driver roster, you can see how my Wi-Fi is here. You can see that there I am. Profile verified, load eligibility status, I'm eligible. I think on day one, and I've heard of this happening to people where they'll say, hey, you've got the green light, you go book a load. Well, you're looking at Amazon as like an individual of like, why didn't you prevent me from booking this load? Amazon's looking back at you from a business standpoint of, hey, you're Stat Trucking. You said you were good to take this load. You didn't have an eligible driver. That's on you. And so that's kind of the rub there. First things first, be sure if you're like me, if you're a one guy, one truck operation, be sure. This might be security rolling up on me here. I may have to, probably just somebody getting some takeout from Texas Roadhouse. It's all right, Lou. It's okay. It's just a car. Got my dog with me. But you want to be sure that you have, Lou, Jesus, every time I turn the camera on, really. You want to be sure that you have an eligible driver. That's step number one. That's going to be true in every state. Step number two is going to be, now they're kind of rolling this out in waves. Back to that managing resources, you can see here under assets. You want to be sure, now again, this might be a California thing, this might be a nationwide thing. When I click on assets, you can see there my unit number, 1977. It's the unit number I assigned my truck, my birth year. You can see that I have an eligible asset. So I've got two things covered. You got the driver taken care of. You've got the equipment taken care of. This third thing, I'm throwing it in here. This might be for California people only. You want to be sure, if you're in California, you want to be sure that you've got a CARB certificate and that you're in good standing with the CTC, the Clean Truck Check people. I don't know how the editing is going to come out as far as like this video coming out first or that video coming out first. I haven't posted it. I've recently made a video on that CTC thing and kind of the debacle it can turn into. But what you do there is, again, hamburger menu, you come down to carrier account, and under carrier account, you go to documents, and it's going to default to insurance. My insurance just renewed, and you can go in here and say California compliance, and you want to be sure that all this stuff matches like what's basically, it's like it's your opportunity to upload like your affirmation of fleet-wide compliance. That's important. So again, I don't want to go too far in the weeds in case you're not in California, but if you are in California, CARB certificate and affirmation of fleet-wide compliance and staying in good standing with the Clean Truck Check people are essential. All right, so that's step number one. Step number two, and this is critical, start on a Sunday. The Amazon week. I've put this in a prior video. I hate saying go back and watch my old videos because I feel like I'm assigning you homework. There's two that I've put out in the past. One of them is, if I'm up to like 700 videos, one of them is like probably, keep in mind most of those are Loadboard shorts. One of them is probably like my most critical video I've ever put out, and that is for people exactly in your situation, starting out under this new kind of Amazon regime as far as what they require now, everything like that. Because it was important, I kept it short. It's no more than like 3 or 4 minutes, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth to it here. Absolutely start on a Sunday. The Amazon week begins on Saturday at 12 a.m. and ends on Saturday at 11:59. Let's say you, like everybody, like myself, like everybody out there is going to go out and going to have growing pains with Amazon. If you do that on a Sunday, you at least have the full week to offset that. Maybe you were late. Maybe you had a truck breakdown. Maybe you had to turn in a load. Maybe there's a host of infinite things. You at least have, by starting on a Sunday, you at least have as much week as you possibly can to offset that bad mark. Now, picture you're kind of willy-nilly, like, hey, they just gave me the green light at Saturday night at 4. I'm going to go run my first load. And you go and you do that and have that same misstep. Well, now you don't have enough week to make that up. If I were starting out, I don't know how much of my other content you've seen as far as screenshots, pictures, everything like this. I would treat Amazon, especially if I were brand new at it, as if you're building the defense against the best attorney coming at you, charging you with murder. Screenshot everything, pictures. I mean, you just document as much stuff as you can. I can't tell you how many times I've had a screenshot, a willy-nilly screenshot of like, site A said to bobtail, and then I get to site B, and site B saying, well, drop off a loaded trailer, and it's like, well, this screenshot that your app just showed me told me to bobtail over here. And they're like, okay, we see we made a mistake. It's like, in that moment, I'm set free. Well, then it comes time for them to pay me. And they're like, we're not going to pay you for that leg because that leg was canceled. It's like, no, BS, it was canceled. Under your direction, I drove to that site and I bobtailed. And then under your direction, I went to the next site and picked up a trailer. You are going to pay me. Here it is. And it's like, oh, yeah, because you have that screenshot and can prove that you did it, yes, we're going to pay you. Now, you might be thinking my phone's going to be filled up with just a ridiculous amount of screenshots. I keep mine for about a rolling 10 to 14 days. You'll know pretty quickly if you need to keep it for performance-related issues, and then you get paid. I think they invoice you on Tuesday, they pay you on Wednesday. If the invoice looks good and you don't have to do any payment disputes, every screenshot you took that prior week, you can just delete them all. I mean, that's how long I keep mine. I have a ton of screenshots for like the last 10 to 14 days, but beyond that, there's no point in keeping them because the window to do performance disputes and the window to do payment disputes has since closed. But everything, I mean, I can't tell you how many times, me sitting here in line, taking my phone out, being like, well, I'm due here at, let's say right now it's 11:06. Let's say I'm due at the steakhouse at at midnight, and I'm physically here, and I'll sit here and I will get my watch and I'll see where it says 11:06, and I'll take this picture right here. And I send that, Amazon then, of course, after the fact, they're like, well, no, your arrival time was 12 o'clock and you didn't get past the gate till 12:15. It's like, nope, I was in your parking lot at 11:06. There was a problem with the guard check. I don't know, a problem with your system, but I did my part by getting there an hour early. And that kind of proof of life screenshot, again, set me free. So go into this thinking like you'd rather have way too much evidence and not need it, as opposed to being like, damn it, I wish I had that one picture, that one thing. If I had that one picture, that one thing, I would have it. And there's going to be stuff like that. I mean, already forgive yourself now for not having that. The only reason I'm at the level I'm at now, and I don't, again, not claiming to be an expert, is there's no substitution for having your ass in a seat like I've got mine in right now. But Todd, I've been waiting 180 days and I got the green light. I don't want to wait till Sunday. That's just a waste of time. I want to get to work. I got to start making money in that truck. I hear you. Use this time to look at that load board and learn some load board physics. I'm between loads right now. I mean, just to show you kind of the breadth and depth of what I do. If we go into my load board right now, I'm going to turn on screen record. Be sure it's got the microphone on so I can sync this up right. I don't have a load starting until, let's see, my next load, if I go over here to relay, my next load starts at 1:45. I have this thing dialed in so close, so precise to where it says there's no matches. That's fine. What I've done is I'm searching for San Diego loads, and I've gone over here on the left-hand side and I've said, okay, show me every load that ends today by 1:30. Now, as you can see, as evidenced by this, there's no loads, there's no matches, and that's fine. You can get real specific with all these little criteria on the side. I mean, you can say start time, end time, minimum dollar, all that type of stuff like this. I basically let the load board do the work for me. So if I'm sitting here and I'm making this video, and the fact that I've got that dialed in to where I know that that load ends at 1:30, and as long as it ends near the location where I need to be at 1:45, without thinking, if I see that screen turn green, I can just hit book. So use this time. I know you've been waiting 180 days. I know you want to get out there. I know you want to start getting money. Use this time to get good at what I would call loadboard physics. My last little, I guess we'll call this a pro tip. Kind of implies that I feel like I'm a pro. I don't feel like I'm a pro, but the last tip I'll leave you with is this. You might be wondering why I have these crazy ass alarms. I've got a 3 a.m. alarm and an 11:45 alarm set. Why do I have those set? Amazon is notorious for canceling a trip. And if they do it 2 hours prior, they owe you nothing. But if they do it within 2 hours, they owe you a tonu. So the reason I have these set is you can see that like 11:45 is exactly 2 hours before this. Like if we view schedule, I have this load number. My next load starts at 1:45. The load after that starts at 5 a.m. So 2 hours before 1:45 is 11:45. 2 hours before 5 a.m. is 3 o'clock. That's why I have those alarms set. Alarm button. Now you'd think I know how to do this. That's why I have those alarms set, and all I'm going to do is when that alarm goes off at 11:45, I'm going to come over here to my trips tab. I'm going to turn on screen record. I don't think a screenshot is sufficient for this, because how do you prove you refresh the screen? But let's pretend it's 11:45 right now. Once it shows up there on the time and shows, let's say we're 11:45 right now, I'm going to take this screen and scroll down and let it refresh. And as long as it's after 11:45, on that one that starts at 1:45, there's no dispute on whether or not they owe me the tonu or not.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is quite possibly the greatest proof of a tonu owed to somebody. Let's make tonus great again.
I can't prove it, and if I could, I would, but I swear I've had, before I started doing that, and I just consider that to be like a best practice, before I started doing that, I swear they were canceling some of my trips like an hour and 45 minutes out, and then claiming, oh no, we did it 2 hours before. Didn't have the proof, didn't have the evidence, didn't have enough time ass in this seat. But now, yeah, so, I have bizarre alarms set on my phone for that specific reason, and I would encourage you to do the same. I know your question dealt with trainings as well too. I just wanted to show you what my trainings tab is. They've got hundreds and hundreds of these training courses. You can see here, I've completed 15 the whole time I've worked for them. Apparently I have one that's past due. This one was due July 13th, relay auctions. I'm never gonna do an auction. I think the minimum amount of trucks to do auctions, I wanna say is like 2, maybe 3 or 5. One guy, one truck. I mean, unless they tell me I have to do this, otherwise I can't book loads, then yes, I'll do this training. But this one being past due, 4 assigned, no due date, relay equipment marketplace. I think that's where you rent your trailer to Amazon. No way in hell I'm ever going to do that. Post a truck, I don't do that. Carrier insurance instructions. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I could probably teach a class on that. And then adding active drivers to, yeah, I don't need to do that. And then you can see the available courses. I mean, 173. Let me show you the 15 that I've done. 15 completed, because I know you said that, which trainings do I have to do? I've done best practice for hostling, location availability, pre-trip, post-trip, tire preventative maintenance, third-party yard rules, smart support. Pardon me for laughing. That's kind of like, what do you call that? That's like jumbo shrimp type of, what is that word called? Whatever. Relay for, smart support. Relay for drivers. Driver wellness. Mechanical moments preventing airline incidents. Performance metric on time. And let's see here, page 2. Is there really a page 2? Relay mobile app driver pre-registration, driver distractions, Amazon yard safety, relay contracts, and getting started with Relay 101. So those are the 15 that I've done. Obviously, you don't need to do all 170 of them. I think it's fine to have some that are past due. But I know that was part of your question. I didn't want to leave that out. But for all you guys getting started with Amazon, my best advice, start on a Sunday. start taking pictures, create some files on your phone as far as like, hey, this is this week's screenshots, this is this week's screenshots, because you need to hang on to them. Man, save some chicks for the rest of us. Anyway, you just, create a, create a folder, create a system, because you're going to need these things. But screenshots, screenshots, screenshots. Start on a Sunday. And that's my best advice. I hope this answers your question. I hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you for watching. Take care.